Hello and welcome to another episode of Market Track with Abuzar. Happy New Year, 2022. I hope you enjoyed your holiday season alongside your family and you're keeping safe. Lots to talk about, going over the numbers in December since we're into January now as well. Looking at the forecast for what's to come for 2022. So as always, please do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel and to like this video. So let's get going. Okay, so my predictions for 2022, I believe we'll be seeing a market as hot as the years before. In terms of the percentage of increase, anywhere between 5 to 15% expected. So to get a mid-range, you should expect right around the ballpark of a 10% increase year over year. Obviously, the different properties in terms of class, as far as being single, semi-detached, or townhouse, and different type of homes such as condominiums versus freeholds. They're all different in the growth or appreciation year over year, but this is a general overview. Tips for buyers as well as sellers. For buyers, it's key for you to know what type of a home you are looking for, what bracket you fit in terms of price. So essential to talk to your mortgage specialist to get the right numbers in the pre-approval key, to have that handy, to be able to pursue the right property in your comfort zone. And for sellers, to set your expectations to a certain degree that it doesn't respond to frustration, and a home which is priced right is key in this market, because at the moment, even though we talk about low inventory, we have lots of listings out there that are just sitting because the sellers are just unrealistic in terms of what they want or what they should be getting is just not in terms with what the market value is or what the expectations are. So it's just that it's really important for sellers to understand the market and be educated, and this way they will maximize what they'll get for the property and avoid the property sitting on the market for months and months to come. So so that's that. So we'll get going on the numbers for the month of December, and it's pretty much very close to what I was expecting in terms of the average price increasing and getting to what we had, similar to what we had in terms of trend to last year. So looking at the general Ottawa and the surrounding, and then we'll focus on more. The number of sales for the month of December 2021, residential freehold, we had 601 units, whereas in 2020 it was 707 units. So that's a drop of inventory, a number of homes of 15%. And as far as the sales volume, very similar to what it was last year. And looking at the average price for freehold residentials for 2021, 710,000 approximately versus 604,000. So that is an increase of 17.6%. Looking at the condominiums, number of sales 2021, 261 versus 290 in 2020. So that's a drop of 10%. And as for the sales volume, again, very similar to the year before. An average sale price for 2021, almost 400,000, whereas in 2020 it was 356,000. So that's an increase of 12%. Looking at the residentials, so looking at the month of December for the residential freeholds, so we see now that the active listings have significantly dropped, even though some of the listings, as we discussed, they're overpriced. Still, the number of listings overall has dropped significantly. So we're looking at 236 active listings for the month of December, and 348 sold units, and versus last year we had 306 active listings and 474 sold units. So we're really going, and we're now seeing a pattern similar to what we had last year, and this shows me that we will have a active market and a hot market for this coming year as well. Looking at the residential freehold, the sold price to original price ratio, so we're increasing now to 102%, higher than last year this time, which was 101%. And we essentially, considering that we have a higher average price, we will see that increase, gradual increase. Looking at the residential average sale price, now we see that the peak we had was in March, where it was 821,000 average sold price. We dropped to as low as 735,000. So now we see that in December of 2021, we're up to 806,000 almost. So that's year over year, a significant increase. And continuing. Looking at the days on the market, average days on the market, residential freehold for December, it's 18 days, and it was 19 days last year. So very similar. It has increased, but I believe that will reduce as we get into the new year. Looking at the condominiums, condo market. Again, the gap between the active listings and the sold listings is really getting close to one another. And we had in December 2021 232 units active versus 248 sold units, and last year this time we had 340 active listings and 285 sold units. So really this narrowing gap tells me that the pressures that being felt on the residential freehold, it's basically spreading out through the rental market as well as the condominium market, hence the response we're seeing and the demand we're seeing in the condo market. So if you're looking for a condo, prices will increase as well gradually because of this reason. Looking at the sold price versus list price, so we're at 99.1% versus 99.5% year over year, and this is showing me that the condo market's steady and increasing. And looking at the average, though, the average has dropped, but still significantly higher than the year before, and I believe this is something that will gradually increase as we trail behind in the condo market to the residential freeholds. So keep an eye on this 400,000 average for December, which is really bound to increase as we get into the spring market. Year over year, still higher, 357,000 last year this time or December. So the average price is still significantly higher than the year before. The 28 days versus 24, so not a lot of change in this for the days on the market. Looking at the rentals. Now, rentals is a whole different thing now. It's a seasonal aspect that we have to consider. So we do have more units in the market, which was the case last year this time as well. And then as we hit around April, May, which is time for renters to move around, we saw that gap really decreasing in between the active and the rented units. So for this month of December 2021, 741 active units versus 327 rented units. And a year ago this time we had 660 active rental units and 232 rented units. So this again, this trend is really following to what the new norm is. and as we see more pressure on the residential, as we said, people being pushed out of certain price brackets, they're going to be turning towards condominiums, increasing the condo prices, as well as the demand for the rental market will increase as well. And this will, in response, result to the increase in rental monthly prices as well. So as investors, that's something to keep an eye out on. And a year or year and a half from now, most likely we'll see the average rental prices increase as well. Looking at the days rental markets unit sits on the market for the rentals, 31 days versus 29 days. So again, not much has changed. So that's it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. As always, I'm available if you have any questions by text, email, phone call. Don't be shy. I'm always available to answer your questions. I love to hear from you guys. And yeah, bottom line, I think we'll be facing a similar market as we did to the previous year, unless there's any sort of intervention by the government. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I mean, they could come up with tightening the regulation a bit. They can come up with any sort of a taxation, but with the movement, the lack of new built homes, which has significantly diminished, which will put a pressure on the resale with the immigration and average household income being higher than Toronto and other cities. There's a lot of potential, I believe, for growth. So if you are looking to purchase something, I would say the time is now to take advantage of the market. And for sellers, again, depending on the type of property, it's always a good time to exit. And if you have any questions as a seller, let me know. I'll be more than glad to help you guys out. Until next time, take care.